I believe most people don't actually change their lives. They just change their calendars. January doesn't mean reset identity. Motivation doesn't mean override patterns. And discipline, it doesn't mean fix self-betrayal. You see, I believe most high performers, they're not lost. They're misaligned. They're succeeding in a life that no longer fits who they're becoming. The tension you feel right now, it ain't confusion. It's truth. It's the distance between who you're called to become and the version of yourself that you keep performing as on that outside. I believe the most dangerous thing you could do is keep winning in a life that costs you your soul, your energy, and your edge. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. You see, Friday night, we talked about alignment, about that quiet tension that shows up when the life that you're living no longer matches who you're even becoming. So tonight I want to go deeper because most people don't stay stuck because they don't know what to do. They stay stuck because they don't understand. They don't understand what it's costing them to stay where they are. And the real cost isn't obvious. That shit is hidden. So here's the truth. Most high performers, they end up missing. You see, misalignment doesn't punish you immediately. It charges you interest and it collects quietly. You don't feel it all at once. You feel it slowly in your energy, your clarity, your patience, your self-trust. And by the time people realize, by the time they realize what it's really costing them, they've already normalized life that doesn't even fit anymore. Let me take you into this. There was a season in my life where on paper, I was winning. Top producing stockbroker, 7 figures a year at 25 years old, status, respect, momentum. From the outside, it looked like I'd arrived. But inside I was empty, restless, disconnected. And I didn't feel I had the language for it. So I did what a lot of most high performers do. I tried to outperform the feeling. More money, more pressure, more stimulation, more edge. And that's when I got introduced to opiates. Not in the street, not in the alley, at my desk at work, in a fucking suit. And slowly, quietly, my life started drifting further and further away from who I actually was. I wasn't weak. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't broken. I was misaligned. And I didn't know how to stop. My life became completely unmanageable. I overdosed twice. The last time, it took 6 cans of Narcan to bring me back to life. 6 fucking cans of Narcan. And here's the part that people don't even expect. I woke up in that hospital, EKGs on my chest, monitors beeping everywhere. I pulled the EKG electrodes off my body, leave the hospital against medical advice. And then when I got outside, it's the middle of winter. I'm in a hospital gown, shivering, looking like a crackhead, like Pookie from New Jack City, because of all the opiates that were being taken out of my system. And the first thing that I do, I go call the dealer again to go get high. Because when you're living out of alignment, even near death doesn't feel loud enough to wake you up. And the moment that changed everything, it didn't come with drama. My sister brought me to a personal development event. Last thing I wanted to do was sit, go to some motivational events, just hear some rah-rah. But something inside of me pulled me to go. And I remember sitting there feeling like a fraud, like I didn't belong, like everybody else had life figured out. And I was just out there pretending. At one point, I went into the bathroom and I just stood there, hands on the sink, looking at myself in the mirror. And for the first time in years, I didn't hear chaos. I heard a whisper, not loud, not emotional, clear. A whisper that told me, you're living beneath who you were created to be. And that line hit harder than any other overdose ever did. And on that train ride home, I looked at my sister, she looked at me, and we both started crying. She knew exactly what I was going to say. And then the words came out. The words my family was waiting to hear for over a decade. I said, I don't want to do this anymore, sis. I'm a shell of my true self. I'm tired of writing my obituary. I want to begin creating my legacy again. That right there was the real turning point. Now, here's what matters. I didn't just get sober. I got clear. I went from running myself from running from myself to facing myself, from chasing validation to choosing alignment, from being driven by pressure to being guided by purpose. Not because I should, but because I finally moved. I finally moved in alignment with who I was created to be. Now, let me slow this down for a minute. And I want to show you something, because this is where most people miss. How people, they stay misaligned without realizing it. This happens in one of three ways. First, they confuse being needed with being aligned. People rely on them. They're dependable. They're the ones who hold it together. So they stay, even when that role no longer fits. They confuse being busy with being purposeful. That's the second one. Their calendar's full. The days are packed. They're productive. But if urgency disappeared tomorrow, there'd be no meaning left. And the third one is they confuse being capable with being called. Just because you could do something doesn't mean it's where your life is meant to go. That's how people wake up one day successful, respected, and deeply unfulfilled. It's not a way to live life. I've been there. And it's not because they failed. It's because they never stopped to ask themselves the right question. Let me teach you something here for a minute. Misalignment, it ain't a mindset issue. It's an identity execution fracture. I'm going to say that again. It's an identity execution fracture. Yup, that's right. Every human being operates on three distinct layers at all times in their life. Number one, identity. Identity is who you believe you are and who you know you're becoming. Your self-image, your internal narrative, the future version that pulls forward. And when identity evolves, but life doesn't, tension begins. The second layer is standards. Standards are what you tolerate, what you allow, what you normalize, what you say yes to, what you excuse, and what you let slide. You see, standards are the bridge between identity and behavior. Your life never rises above your standards. And the third layer, it's behavior. You see, behavior is how you actually live day to day. Your habits, your routines, your calendar, your decisions under pressure. Behavior is the visible evidence of alignment or misalignment. When these three layers are aligned, life flows. When they're not, you feel pressure. And this matters. Pressure is not caused by life being hard. Pressure is being caused by identity, by standards, and behavior being out of sync. Here's where it gets real. Misalignment, it doesn't start with big failure. It starts with small betrayal. And yeah, you didn't feel right in your body. A decision you justified, even though you knew better, a truth that you felt and ignored. And every time you override your inner knowing, your nervous system remembers that shit, man. You don't just move on. You store tension. Let me pause here for a minute, because I don't want you to rate anything here. But I don't want you to score yourself. I want you to just listen. There's a line in your life right now. On one side, it's the version of you that feels clean, grounded, and aligned. On the other, it's that version of you that keeps saying, I'll do it later, after this season, once things settle down. Come on, man. Stop embarrassing yourself. You already know which side you stand on. Your body already answered it. The tension you feel, it ain't fear. It's the cost of standing on the wrong side of the line for longer than your soul is willing to tolerate. Here's what people get wrong about this alignment thing. They think alignment makes life easier. It doesn't. It makes it clearer. And clarity removes excuses. Clarity is the key to success. It removes hiding. It removes negotiation with yourself. When I honored alignment in my own life, here's what actually changed. I stopped negotiating with myself. I stopped needing validation for decisions I already knew were right. I stopped forcing momentum. My energy stabilized. My focus sharpened. And my discipline, oh man, it felt clean again. Not because life slowed down, but because my decisions stopped fighting my identity. If any of this is landing right now, hear this clearly. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not lazy. You're just paying the hidden cost. The hidden cost of staying loyal to a life that you've already outgrown. That's exactly one of the reasons why I'm hosting the Reforge Activation Workshop. Not to hype you up, not to motivate you, but to help you close the gap between who you are right now and who you're meant to become. Real clarity, real alignment, real direction. If you're done forcing, if you're done repeating the same year over and over and over again, expecting different results, and if you're done betraying yourself quietly, click the link in my bio. No pressure, man. Just an invitation. Because The most dangerous thing you could do is keep succeeding in a life that ain't even yours anymore. I've been there, man. It's not a way to fucking live life. There's more to it. Remember, you're a spiritual being living a human experience, and you can do anything you put your mind to. The workshop is Tuesday, December 30th at 12 p.m., yeah. Click the link in my bio. Have a great night. Stay productive, stay purposeful, and most importantly, stay blessed, yeah.